This is period 2 of Red Dragons versus Execution. And Dragon Wing takes the face off in Execution, winning 2-0. Trying to increase that lead early here in the second period.
Looks like RD stayed with the same lineup.
Yeah, it looks like they don't have too many people online, so not that surprising. Execution does make a couple of changes.
Yeah, they decided to keep Art on the bench for now.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. I think I might have put Artivore in, but I am not the Red Dragons captain. Dark Messenger with a good check here, and they might be able to get something going the other way. Dark Messenger coming up in the Weasel, but Rage actually with a nice back check into Warburg.
Yeah, I'm curious why they didn't put Artivore in too. They want to switch something up, maybe take out Super Saiyan for a period or something. It looks like they've got a chance. Well, 2-on-2 right now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think maybe that Red Dragons has been underestimating how good Artivore is comparatively to the rest of their roster, at least, because I've seen them bench him several times. I'm not sure 100% if Core or Leafy calls alliance for them, but certainly if I was captain, I definitely think Artivore might be a better option for them to at least try to play. So Rage looks like he's going to take a shot. Now saved by Watch Out for the Pie.
So what do you guys think the locker room is like for Execution right now? Sort of middle of the pack team. They've got potential. What do you guys think?
Well, I know that. Hold on a second here. Looks like Rage is going to take a shot, but that's safe. I think a lot of the people on Execution are pretty laid back. At least a couple of them are. Rage and jaywalking, I don't think are going to cause too much locker room drama, or that sort of thing. I think that most of them probably think it's still early in the season and they expect to do better. I mean, they're starting to pick up some more wins, and I think as long as they win their next few games, I think their locker room's completely fine.
Yeah, I draw a similar assessment. I see low drama just in general. Nice try by who was that jab that just shot that image? Blue Goku. Yeah, low drama. Pretty confident in themselves. Like you said, it's early on in the season. I guess they're just going to see how it's going to develop. However, RD is probably a different story, but we can only speculate.
We can only speculate, yeah. I know there have been some axings on their roster recently. I'm not sure I remember exactly who it was, but I know that there was an axing. Blue Goku with a mispass there. And Rage coming up, and it looks like he has a shot. Watch out for the Pie, was sleeping there. So that's going to be clean, and Execution is going to take a 3-0 lead. And honestly, I saw that for a second. Watch out for the Pie. It looked like he was sleeping near the top of the net for a good 3 or 4 seconds, and Rage just took advantage of that.
There's a piece of breaking news. Herbalist Yangyun left Empire a little more than 10 minutes ago.
All right, that's actually been a move I've been expecting throughout the day. I've heard some drama going on between that, maybe some disagreements between the Empire captain and Herbalist, kind of been verbally sparring back and forth a little bit, so not a big surprise, but that is kind of a blow to Empire's offense.
Yeah, I'd say that's a huge blow. I don't know why.
I'm going to guess he goes to Creasers.
He has been known to play on Creaser some before, but I'm not sure if Creasers has the spots or playing time anymore. They've been picking a lot of players up this season. Blue Goku looks like he's coming up, but gets checked out by the defense, so nothing's going to happen there.
I actually think Direwolves might make Mike a bid for him.
They've picked up a lot of players as well recently, though. They just picked up Jack and King. I'm not sure how much more playing time they have to throw around. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Leafy with some nice moves there, avoiding all the checks.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting player to follow, considering his impact. or Empire.
Super Saiyan powering through in the jab, but there's just no angles right now with a pretty defensive setup, I would say, for execution. They have most of the players they have in right now are actually defensive players.
Looks like Judge is up on offense now. That's a good adjustment there.
But maybe not the best choice because it looks like Rage's going to have a breakaway here. Pulls back and Deke's core with the drop pass. Forced to go to the corner without having the shot angle, but looked like a pass phased here, and that's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, I guess they're playing double mid with Core and Judge.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to rotate in and out, but I know that neither of those players are really true defensive mids, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see. This is another odd man rush, looks like, and a missed check by Judge, and a shot top by Rage, hoping to watch out for the Pie sleeping again, but he saves that one. And a good back check by Rage. He's been getting a couple of good checks like that in the Warbird. Doing a good job for his team getting the puck back. And Rage to Dragon Wing, back to Rage. Killed off there. And here's the counterattack that Red Dragons always tries to do. But Leafy cannot get past the big Levy defender.
Yeah, if I were Leafy, I would have tried to be more patient if there wasn't any sort of shot I could take from the angles I had.
Yeah, I feel like he is trying to do a little bit too much by himself right now, trying to go in kind of solo artist style. And you can't really complain about not having to team that much if you're just sprinting ahead of them every time. And some nice passing from Execution, but they're not able to make anything happen there. Phase on the crease meant that any goal that happened wasn't going to count anyway. And a missed pass by Red Dragons results in a turnover, and that's really the main problem I see from Red Dragons. Missing a lot of passes in most of their games really prevents them from getting flow going.
Yep, if you don't have a transition game, then how are you ever going to get momentum, really?
Some nice movement from player Plane, but didn't really have any options to pass to there. Ends up giving it away to the Red Dragons defense, but gets the puck back. Red Dragon's not able to keep the puck from him, it seems. And a nice pass to Blue Goku. Couple of checks going back and forth. And Leafy trying to make something happen again, but gets checked off by Blue Goku. But now Leafy has the puck and open space. And once again, just tries to move across Lauren and gets checked. It's really hard to move right across a Levy defensemanship right there. And I think that Red Dragons and Leafy in particular is going to have to go with a different point of attack if they want to have any success here.
Yep, I'd say slow it down. At least try to form a pass.
Well, puck cycling is your best friend in league games, and that's always been something Red Dragons have struggled with, so I'd like to see them at least try to work on that, or at least show effort towards working on that goal. It just seems kind of like they just do whatever and hope to see the puck go in the net, but you really need to be attacking the game with some kind of mentality or strategy in mind. King, as a player on Red Dragons, did they talk a lot and strategize a lot about what they wanted to do in the game?
Not really. Just called lines. But, I mean, the good thing was everyone knew their role. So, that's good. But, just go out there and play.
It's good to see things so casual. I guess one thing is maybe there won't be a ton of drama, but at the same time, if you don't have a strategy or game plan, that can come back to bite you. And Rage to Dragon Wing. Oh no, he keeps the puck and shoots it.
Oh.
Watch out for the Pie. Reacted to the pass there, and Rage was just able to put the goal in open space.
Yeah, RD has some bad luck here. They're missing their Levy. They're missing their best goalie. That's just bad luck.
But you gotta think it's not a good matchup for it either. I mean, if you're going to be missing some of your best players, it might not hurt you as much depending on what team you're facing, but Execution certainly not one of the teams you want to be missing anybody against.
Yeah.
So 4-0. Do you think that Red Dragons will be able to come back and score any goals at all, Pooter?
I think they will score. Whether they'll come back and have a shot at making this a more interesting game, that's another story. I think I'm going to say I think they're quite capable of getting 2 goals. Earlier we didn't mention it, but Judge had a nice kill in front of the net that set up a good cross. But I'm sorry, I just read the chat and Dan made me laugh. God damn it, lost my train of thought. Thank you, Dan.
Right, excellent thoughts from Pooter. And now Judge 69 gets the turnover, and Red Dragon's going to come back with a counterattack. But Dark Messenger gets checked off by Lauren, and it seems like they're having a tough time getting past Lauren and the Levy right now. And I've noticed that Execution's been working with a lot of open space this period. Player tries to pass down to Ray, and an own goal by Core maybe. Player passed it off, and he shot it at the net. I think it lagged. Yes, it did lag.
Looking at Red Dragon's defense, they've got a Terrier back there. I think Judge 69 is their last man back. Then there's Lauren for Execution. Do you think the fact that one's a Terrier versus one's a Leviathan, changes the effectiveness of their defense?
100%. I mean, honestly, the best stay-at-home defense ship is Spider by a long shot, I think. But
I'd agree.
At least the Levy is still pretty strong and definitely way more effective than the Terrier. The thing with the Terrier is a good forechecker. Hold on here. Looks like Leafy going to try for a chance, but good interception by Super Dan. The thing with the Terrier is it's a really good forechecker, but it's just the last ship back. Its lack of acceleration compared to the Spider and the lack of rotation speed mean that it can't always keep up with the action that's happening as far as just being the one man back there. Rage is going to take a shot. That saved off. But with the Levy, I think is more easily able to handle with ships coming across the crease and stuff like that, whereas I think the Terrier is best as a support defender, not as your main defenseman.
Absolutely. Terrier's there to get in front of passes and the occasional lunge, not so much as the main stopping point.
Just everything that you want to do defensive as a stay-at-home defenseman in the Terrier, the Spider is going to do it much more effectively because of the settings. So the Red Dragons has some opportunities this period so far. And Super Saiyan opts not to shoot there. They'll cycle it back. So at least they're passing a little bit here. But checked by Blue Goku, and that'll be the end of that drive, if you will, for Red Dragons.
Yeah, I think Super Dan might choke eventually though, and let in an easy one. But we'll see.
It looked like Player Plane had a good chance to get a check and maybe a goal off a steal there, but he did miss the check.
I'm guessing we're going to see Art of War now. They should have him register Spider. Just to help out.
Do you have any insider information as to why they didn't play Art of War earlier?
Not really. Well, I know some games he showed up a bit late, I believe, so that kind of they kind of forgot about him. But I don't know. No, not really.
Execution has definitely given some playing time to their second string, I guess you could say, if you will, in this matchup. They've played Lauren and Player Playing quite a lot, and they've still dominated Red Dragon. So really a pretty big statement from Execution saying, hey, we're not going to play our best line, and we're still going to come away with a pretty dominant victory here. 18 shots in 2 periods. That's about 9 shots a period. 4 goals to nothing. And they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Interesting to see so many goals scored as well. when you look at the fact that they've been playing mainly defensive players. Lauren, a defender, player playing usually a defensive kind of mid, and Dragon Wing Zero, also traditionally a stay-at-home defenseman.
Looks like they got Art in for Leafy. I would probably get him in for Super Saiyan instead.
Yeah, if Leafy's really not going to play, I think that at this point it looks like Red Dragon's just given up and they're just kind of like, let's just spread some time around. And maybe Leafy just decided, since he thinks the game's over, he doesn't care about playing this period. That would be my best guess. Alright, so third period. I think it's pretty safe to say that barring a miracle, Execution will win. But it looks like Super Dan might play some offense, and it looks like there's going to be a double Warbird and the Weasel, so 3 level 1 ships for Execution, but honestly, they could play however they wanted. It'd be pretty hard for them to lose at this point, but they don't want to be too silly. They don't want to Anderson Silva it, if you will. For those of you who didn't watch UFC, Anderson Silva did finally lose last night to Chris Weidman. And Jaywalking going to take a snipe. Nothing comes of that, but oh, it looked like Super Dan might have a nice steal there, but just barely didn't pick it up with his procs.
They have Art in Warbird, actually, so maybe that's why.
And here's Rage to Jaywalking. Tries to pass it back. No turnover there, but they do actually turn it over because they pass it to Core. Nice pass by Rage. By Jaywalking to Rage, and he's going to take a shot bottom post, but watch out for the pies in position there. And it looks like Execution is going to continue the pressure into this third period here. Okay, so Jaywalking back to Rage. Nice passing play.
Nice
but watch
save.
out for the pie. Actually read that pretty well there and checked it, so good play from him.
Yep, great cuts on offense and good read by the goalie.
Uh-oh.
Looks like maybe a snipe bottom.
There it is.
And that's going to be clean. Watch out for the pie. Just not knowing exactly at what timing he's supposed to move there, it looked like. So a good save. A decent shot by Jaywalking there, but you can definitely tell the difference between having watch out for the pie in net and having somebody like John 005 back there.
Absolutely, and I'd say those snipes are some of the most disheartening goals.
Although you will say it was a snipe, but it was a breakaway, so you can at least say usually you think the breakaway is going to go in the favor of the goalie, but either way, you should not be playing poor enough defense to where that's happening.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Doobie checked off by Art of War. And Execution still in Red Dragon zone. They're having a real trouble getting it out of their zone here. They just keep getting checked off. And even then, they turn it over to Red Dragons. Red Dragons turns it over right back, and the pressure is going to continue. Lots of space on the top side. Super Dan's going to snipe. Warbird not the best for sniping. Watch out for the pies. Going to get a save there. And now Super Dan coming with the puck, going to try to make something happen. Nice pass to Jaywalking back to Super Dan, but Kuroshi makes a nice save.
Yep, Dan had it, and then Kuroshi got in front of it.
And Art versus Dragon Wing here, it looks like. What's he going to do? Pass back to Kuroshi. And Kuroshi hogs it for some reason when Art of War was definitely open. Not the best decision. Rage threads a pass through the Super Dan, but it looks like he didn't expect that to be completed, and they end up passing it back to the Red Dragons team. Nice pass by Art of War, and an odd man rush here. He's going to pass south to Super Saiyan, and tried for the shot top, but Lauren gets in the way.
Yep, looks to me Execution is playing pretty relaxed right now. Lots of butt pats going on. They're having fun.
All right, Execution still set up in the Red Dragon zone, cycling it around. Super Dan. Deeks past 3 players to jaywalking back to Super Dan. Some nice offensive movement going on, but there was no angle left open by the goaltender.
Yeah, RD just doesn't have the weapons. This one's over.
Yeah, I'm looking out at the crowd, and some of the Red Dragons fans are starting to head out of the stadium.
And checked off, but Execution actually picks it up off of the back check. But they're finally able to get the puck out of there. They really need to control the puck and get this out of their zone. They've been stuck in their end for quite a while. And they will turn it over again. It's continuously been a problem for them. And you got to think even more so now that Levy's out of the game. Super Dan takes a shot bottom off the post.
Super post by Super Dan.
Jaywalking behind the net. Threads it through to Doobie. They're going to slow the pace of the game down a little bit. Doobie tries a nice fancy pass. Doesn't work out, but they're able to get some checks to make it work. And Super Dan checked off by watch out for the pie. And Execution nearing 30 shots here.
Do you guys think that, watching this game and how they're dominating, do you think they're contenders, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's really too early to tell. They haven't really had very good results versus the upper echelon teams just yet. They've started picking up wins, but they had some ties and losses against some of the top teams, so a little too early to tell how far they're going to go in the playoffs, but they definitely are going to be a top 4 or 5 team for sure.
Dark Messenger just got robbed from a good shot. RD has no luck. But yeah, what Thrill was saying, Execution, it's too early in the season so far, but Execution...
Here's a breakaway.
Oh, yeah, bottom.
Yeah, and Art of War did a sweep there and actually had a goal bottom post, but I guess he wasn't expecting that opening to be there. Ended up not shooting. And a threaded pass by Doobie to Rage. Rage is not going to take the goalie on. He's going to wait. They're going to cycle the puck and just slow the game down. Looks like
he's taunting him.
I don't think it's much taunting them, as I've actually talked with Rage about Hockey Zone quite a lot, and he actually is not a fan of running the score up, so just being kind of classy, probably. Gotta feel like he definitely could have at least tried to take on the goalie if he wanted, but just decided to cycle the puck back out.
So Red Dragon's playing a very spread offense right now.
Nice save.
Yep, great save by Execution.
And Rage here, just moving past Red Dragons players with ease.
Yep, Red Dragons too lungy right now.
Yeah, and just turning the puck over all over the place. They need to get a handle on the puck. And it looks like this is turning into a scrim game, kind of back and forth, running gun style. And Core had an open shot there, just barely wide. The opening was there. That could have been a good opportunity for Red Dragons to get on the board, but...
Oh, wow.
Rage with the ball kill on the shot bottom, but didn't quite have the velocity to make that happen. And
a bunch
Rage,
of checks in the middle of the rink.
Looks like this is going to be a pass to jaywalking, and that's a lag goal. And I want to give credit to Judge 69. Well, it looks like some people might have saw clean. We'll see what the ref rec says.
Yeah, I saw lag.
I saw lag.
Okay, so that was just one person that saw clean. So, pretty unanimous lag. I definitely saw lag. And I definitely want to give credit to Judge 69 there, because his positioning actually enabled that to happen. He was actually guarding off the goal quite well. He was in position to make that save, and Jaywalking was smart enough to know that Judge was in position to make the save, so he held onto it and tried to make a sneakier shot. So it didn't really look like a great save by Judge because Jaywalking held onto the puck, but his positioning there was actually really good and prevented Execution from scoring there. Rage tries to thread a pass, but Judge 69 proxies it. And they've had a substantially larger portion of the puck time than Red Dragons in this period. And they have broken the 30-shot threshold now.
Absolutely. They, as you said, they're cycling. They're passing back as opposed to just rushing the net.
And Super Dan has an opening here. He's going to pass to Doobie. Doobie shoots bottom, but watch out for the pie. Gets another save. And you got to think, even though he's let in 5 goals, just the amount of pressure that Execution is putting. Oh, and Core with the net off the post. Another good chance for Red Dragons, but not able to make it happen there. Rage dekes Judge. Drop pass back to Rage. He sees watch out for the pie is in position and holds onto the puck. Smart decision there. A couple of people are saying Rage choke, but goalie was definitely in position to make that save, so. Art of War with a nice check. And it looks like he is going to pass back to Dark Messenger, and he'll try to get it back up there, I'm sure, but just turns it over to Dragon Wing. And now Execution back with the puck. And they've got some numbers here. They've got 4 guys up. And right through the middle, Super Dan with the hog, puck time warrior. He is fierce, but misses the net there. Rage just kind of making a fool of the Red Dragons defense there. Super Dan really wants a goal. You can see he's definitely trying to score a goal. Maybe trying to force it a little bit too much. But you can really afford to get away with that when you're up 5-0 with 2 minutes left.
I think Execution are definitely contenders, even at this point, because I feel like they, knowing who plays for them, they've just been coasting, I feel like.
All right, and it looks like this is going to be a 2-on-0. Super Dan and Rage. Rage is probably going to try to give this to Super Dan. Wow. Super Dan had the goal bottom.
Yep, super choke by Super Dan.
And Super Dan laughing at himself. Guess he didn't quite expect things to turn out that way. And Jaywalking with a slap shot well wide of the net. We'll see how long Red Dragons keeps the puck. Less than a second. And now Rage is going to pass to Super Dan. And shoots it top, scores! Goal for Super Dan.
The guy was due. The guy was due.
You know he wanted that goal. He plays goalie a lot. Doesn't always get to come out and play offense in the league, so good for you, Super Dan. Struggled a little bit to do it, but he got there. And Red Dragons doesn't want to get shut out. That's their main goal here. And Dark Messenger passes up to Super Saiyan with a slap shot. Goal!
There we go. Nice slap shot by Super Saiyan. Pounds it into the net.
Yep, and that's a lot of times what happens when you get such a big lead. You start playing run and gun style. You don't really care about defense that much anymore, and you give up these huge odd man rushes. So that was like a 3 or 4-on-1. It looks like Super Dan going to go for goal number 2 here. Passes to Rage, actually. Rare pass from Super Dan. Rage with the ball kill. And just clowning Core. Looks like he's just having fun.
No one's challenging him.
And Core passes to Rage. Rage threads it to watch out for the pie. Nice pass to watch out for the pie there from Rage.
Wow, 36 shots.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get 4 shots in the next 20 seconds to hit 40. Probably not, but we'll see. And Super Dan passes up to Jaywalking.
Could have been crease. I think that was crease.
That was a
I
close
think
call.
he got it off.
That was a beauty though. One timer across the crease to jaywalking clean.
That is going to be clean. I think those goals look deceiving, and I've seen this a lot, even just from personal experience. A lot of times, if you don't start backpedaling immediately after you shoot and you just keep flying forward, just how far you get into the crease when the puck hits the net makes it look like it was a big crease, even when you're behind the crease when you release it. But good job by the ref frequency, I think, to recognize that and call that goal clean. Definitely got rid of it in time.
They're playing for the fans right now. They're giving us the show.
And it looks like this is going to end with Execution winning 7-1, 38 shots to 13, and starting to build some momentum in their season here. That's their third win, so they're on a 3-game winning streak now. And after the rough start to their season, it comes at a really good time.
You know, I was hoping for a little more competition from RD. I don't like to see them struggle, but they've got to get something together. They got to get something going, especially with their transition and cycling game.
So I guess people obviously always want to see a more competitive game, but the results probably not too surprising looking at where these teams stand in the league. And we'll have to see if Red Dragons can pull out of their rut. They fall to 1-5, and they need to put together a couple wins if they want to make a serious playoff contender.
Absolutely, I'm looking for them for their adjustments that they should be making. I'm not really seeing any, but we'll see. We'll see how they develop after this one.
Yeah, I mean, the adjustments won't matter if they won't have John showing or their Levy or any of their major players.
That's true, yeah. John is integral. Also, yep, you need the Levy for chemistry.
All right, so we will be right back with the second game of the night. More RSHL action coming up very soon, so stick with us.
I'm Pooter89. I'm signing out. Got a game coming up. Got to get back to my team in the locker room for our shower. Thanks, Thrill and King, for the commentating.
All right,
Good
thank
luck,
you for
bro.
contributing, Pooter. And we'll be back with you guys shortly for the next game.
Are we off the air?
Looks like we're just cycling through some replays here.